shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Another shot is gonna hit you with a mind overloaded. The bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. So never everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking. Let's go.
Welcome to another Shot Podcast, where our opinions might be real, or it could just be the liquor talking. Sit back and enjoy another shot.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Shot Sunday night weekend hangover. And as usual, even though there was not a lot to drink, I feel hungover. Kitty Cat, how about you?
Definitely.
Yet, if I'm not mistaken, tonight is definitely one of those nights where you could have used the drink. A hangover would be more fun right now, wouldn't it?
For sure.
You guys ever have one of those weeks where, I mean, it didn't seem like it was bad, and then as the week went on, you just realized how much hell it truly had been? Kitty Cat, you inspired this one, honestly, because I didn't realize it until today, that this week absolutely fucking sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain in the ass at work this week. It was just, no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get ahead, and it all culminated today. I thought 100% I'd have the bar done. I was going to surprise you. Hey, guess what? I'm going to have the shelves on. I'm going to be able to just reach down, grab the glasses, and run with it. So, what I did accomplish... Oh, wait. Let me show everybody the new additions. So, yes, I have restocked. We got a lot more stuff, just not the stuff that we normally drink on the regular. And I'm noticing something. There's a nice little trend here. See, I mean, with all the neat, I got cherry and I got whip, but it still looks the same. It's going to be fun if I have a few drinks and I'm trying to actually mix something together and grab the wrong one. Because we all know cherry is going to go really good with I don't know, coconut. You never know. I might stumble upon it. But the Smirnoffs, they look the same. There's raspberry and regular. It's just, but one I'm most excited about, guys. If I don't take all the flesh off the end of my knees. As I said, I did not complete the bar like I wanted to. So, yes, we still got a knee banger back here. In my shopping today, in doing the Lord's work, I ran across something. I don't know if you guys have tried it. Now, everybody knows me as being a proper number 12 Irish whiskey drinker. You guys all know I am an Irish whiskey drinker all day long. My wife knows me as just being a whiskey drinker. Kat just knows me as being a drinker. Weird. There's no getting ahead in this one. So either way, we're going to start off with one for the doctor. I may or may not have just found out or found a replacement for my Proper. Proper's always going to be in here, but I am very excited about this, folks. in my shopping. Today was just supposed to be a mixer day. I was going to worry about the rest of it at a later time. And I happened to see a Jameson triple. They call it the triple triple. A triple. Hey, say that 3 times fast. The triple triple. It is triple distilled, triple cask. And what's really got me excited is they triple distilled this in a bourbon cask, a sherry cask, and a chestnut cask. This bad boy right here, velvety notes of toffee. Here's one I'm going to try. Cacao, and toasted almond with an extra drop of smoothness. Guys, I don't see this one being done. We don't pour this one for shots at all. See, from a distance, that looks honestly like just the regular Jameson bottle. But guys, I assure you, this one's going to be. It is a triple. If you see it, you'll hear it from me first. I think this is going to be awesome. This is definitely a sipping drink. Yes, ma'am.
And because you read the ingredient thingy-bobber description on it, that is one that I will not be able to partake in.
Wow, what's the matter with it? Which one is it?
Almonds.
Well, velvety notes. So it'll have the flavors. I don't know if that exactly means it has toasted almonds in it, but to be on the safe side, well, obviously she's not going to drink it regardless because it has that word. Good things come in threes, always triple distilled and now triple cask. We introduced whiskey matured in a combination of bourbon and sherry casks with a portion further matured in chestnut casks, which is probably where the almond flavor comes from. The result, a new taste experience and additional layers of flavor and extra drop smoothness. And I am not seeing anything on here, sweetheart, of it just gives the flavors. It doesn't give the actual ingredients, which, to be fair, you're not going to get that on a liquor bottle because everybody is like very.
I know they keep their ingredients.
Yeah, that's.
Secret. But put it there, and I will zoom it in.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So, folks, let's put it right there, facing the camera. Oh, we may have to move over just a little bit. That's fine. We can move it along. So, guys, yes, just look for the Jameson triple. But now comes the fun part. See, my favorite used to be the Caskmate. I didn't think you could beat the Caskmate. I am a Jameson fan. And I know this is not Monday Night Bartender. I'm just extremely excited about this one because I found something a little more. And we will get back on topic, I promise, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just two-finger this bad boy. It does have the normal colors. It looks like Jameson. But it doesn't smell like regular Jameson. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's put that there. And by the way, guys, the Richter scale on this bad boy is 80 proof. It is 40%. I have actually people come up to me before and say, oh, dude, you'll love it. It's only 40%. I'm like, there's no way. No, it says it right on the bottle, 40%. Double that, dude. That's your proof. That's the strength. Blue Wave, what's going on, brother? You're just into. I would introduce a new drink tonight, and Blue Wave pops in. My boy, you know. So, oh, it smells so good. This is Jameson triple, guys. So the first thing I notice, it doesn't have a normal whiskey bite. Actually, I don't even taste a bite at all. I just taste the flavor. That is crazy. No, I have to. Did the ice melt down too much? Did it water it down too much? There's no burn.
That's a good drink, though.
That's actually scary. Okay, so that's going to make that extremely dangerous. Oh, no, it's going back behind me. That is going in. You know what, guys? You're going to see it firsthand. When I get a sipping drink, leaving it in a bottle doesn't do it justice. So this bad boy, let's go with this one. I like canters. Some see it as being snobby. Hey, look what I found. Believe it or not, canters actually do allow them to breathe. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, people, it's just a good case in point. So I got Glenlivet's 12 year one time, me and my buddy. And we poured it in a canter. And him and I just sipped at it and sipped at it and sipped at it and sipped at it. Didn't think anything of it. Well, I forgot about it. And last year, when it was me and Steven here, 6'9", we dug into it. And I got thinking about it, I'm like, damn, that thing's been in there since, like, I did the math. I think it came out to, it went from a 12 year to a 18 year. And I tell you what, when I poured it out and into the glass, there was literally about that much left in the bottom. I couldn't believe how smooth that went down. So this particular one, I don't know if it needs to mellow anymore. Honestly, I don't. So we are just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to leave it here so we know what it is. There you go, whiskey. Let's let that bad boy sit for a little while and see what happens. And when I say a little while, I mean, it's going to sit there, age and sip. And that right there is why I like canters, guys. So on that note, like I said, it's not Monday night. I understand. Sorry, guys. Blue Wave, what's your thoughts on Irish whiskey, brother? I mean, I think you've told us your thoughts on different drinks before, but thing of it is, I had to ask that question because what we started off talking about, I don't think he has that problem. See, Hell Week for me usually just has to, it revolves around the people I work with, and not everybody. So, not to rehash the whole camaraderie thing, because you guys, well, they didn't get to see, what was it, 2 weeks ago when basically the entire crew was in here, minus 2 people, helping us put all this together. It's always that there's always that one guy. Now everybody's got their own little niches and stuff, but there's always that one person. We're not even going to say guy. We're not going to say girl. We're going to say that one person that just turns your week into not even just so much your week as on a daily basis. But honestly, I mean, I kind of feel bad because our manager was on vacation this weekend. And that poor bastard, when he goes back in, or no, I'm sorry, Hoop, I can't call you our manager. You're our supervisor, but he does not have the manager title. When he comes in tomorrow, he's just going to get bombarded with people coming up to him, and I'm not going to single out by saying a name, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you do pop onto the show, brother, you're not going to like what you see here very soon. Now, with me, I have always had a problem, and this young lady sitting over here on the couch can attest to this. My temper has gotten the better of me on more than one occasion, and cost me some time and money. We'll call it. Yes, that is a nice way to say it. I've been fired, or not always fired, but kind of pushed to leave, if that makes any sense. But I've tried really hard to, everybody knows me on here as being that fun-loving, that joking guy, that one that, I'm always trying to cheer somebody up. Even when I'm in a bad mood, Kat, you've seen it. Everybody has seen it. I could be in a bad mood and still be trying to make you laugh. And this, it takes a special person to push me to that point where my sense of humor literally goes out the window. And I've actually talked to Hooper and told him to put him with me. I've been there, how long? A month and a half now, babe? Would you say I've had this job for a month and a half? And Hooper was just on here the other night and even admitted that, yeah, I've raised the morale in there. I've made it, I've got people a little more, what's a good way to put it? Happy? More apt to enjoy work. But there's just some people who you just can't reach. Kitty Cat, have you dealt with that? That one person that, you enjoy it, you enjoy going into work, but there's always that one person. It's just like, today's that day.
Yep.
Blue Wave says true.
That'll be my Wednesday, Thursday this week.
You've got a fun week coming up yourself, actually. Hence the reason I said hell week. And not always bad, but just busy as all get out. Yeah, this dude in particular. You've heard me and Steve talk on here before about those particular people that they make your job. You could have the easiest job in the world, but they find some way to make your job hard or miserable or painful, or that one person that will do the most at the smallest is a good way to put it. They're that ones that they'll do the bare minimum, jump in and do the easy parts of the job and then disappear. The hider, basically the bathroom is their office throughout the day. I say their office because they're in there for, now to be fair, guys, I am one of those ones when I'm home, I go in the bathroom, and yes, I am that guy that, I'll sit there for a little bit. I'll take that time to myself. I sit down on the throne, I do my thing, but then I'll sit there and I'll look stuff up. I'll look on the, I'll get on the internet. I used to be a book reader, believe it or not. I went through the entire Deathly Hallows book sitting on the toilet, chapter at a time. We got flies like crazy in here. We're going to have to solve that. The one, what do we got? They're very busy at accomplishing nothing. Yes, that is a solid way to put it. There's been times we've actually gone into the break room wondering where this individual was and hear him talking on his phone, on their phone in the bathroom. The threat has already gone out that if they get caught again, the door's getting kicked in regardless. It's just, the other day, I'm the newest guy back there, and yet I had to spend 1/3 of my day by myself dealing with customers and that was also the day that I didn't have my backups. Those guys, the ones that I could rely on to, hey, I need your help. Hey, I need you, what's going on here. I mean, I literally had to wing it as best I could. Now, to be fair, the store manager, who he's a good guy. He really is. He watches the camera. He lets us do our thing. But, when the time comes, yeah, he comes back. He'll help out. He'll get cars organized. He'll step in here. Let me do this real quick. With this. So I did have a little bit of backup, but not, obviously because he's going to be up front. This particular one on this day, I have to vent on this. This is my day to vent. Because I know when I go in tomorrow, it is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare. And we're going to get the, oh, you're picking on me. Oh, why is it always me? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? How do you tell somebody that you bring it on yourself? That the definition of insanity is repeating the same process over and over, expecting different results. And the sad part is, here, I'll give credit where credit's due on it. He's shown he can work, but he does it for attention. I watched him one day. Me and Hoop were, obviously we're two of the tag team champs back there. I say tag team champs. Let me reiterate on that for people. Usually when you see Hooper, you see me. We just get along that well. We've gotten to the point now where we know each other. We know who needs what, where, when, why, how. This other individual decided that was going to be the day they were going to bust their ass. They were flying through tires left and right. They were, it was actually really cool to see. I mean, it shows this individual has the skill and the talent, the know-how to do the job. And then they admitted, she admitted, just to make it, equal opportunity here. They did it because they wanted to hear good job. And the reason it wasn't given to him, and this is per somebody else, is because you are one of those people that you show you can work, you get applauded, and then you go right back to the bullshit again. The inconsistency. Coming in and doing one day of solid work does not make up for leaving everybody hanging. What, for a week solid? Having to chase you down? Something as simple as even just like the music. Trust me, this individual is a music Nazi. He was just out of the blue come in, and yeah, I did it again. Either way, they don't know the names. He has come in on multiple occasions where we're all sitting there enjoying life, everything's going good, we got a good vibe going, and then he has to come over and take over something. And then his favorite thing is, well, it's my speaker. But when you and I got introduced, you told me that speaker was for everybody. So why are you coming in and, okay, it's your speaker. Speaker's gone. Somebody else brought a speaker in. And it just happened the other day where, again, we had music playing, everything was going good, and this particular individual decided they were going to come in, scream at everybody for moving his phone. Literally, here, his phone. His phone went from here to here. People need to leave his stuff alone. Went nuts. But went in and still changed the music up. That's a petty thing, but that also just, it's one of many petty things that kind of compiles. Now, to be fair, I think everybody except for Blue Wave there, who gets to work and travel all at the same time, dude. I'm telling you, someday He's got the he's got that job that everybody would love to do. He gets to see different places, gets to enjoy life, all while getting his work done at the same time. Is that a fair? He smiled. Yeah, dude, you live on. I mean, you live in a tropical area, and you just. I mean, the fact that you're saltwater alone would makes your job is extremely appealing to me. But Kitty Cat, I've rambled on enough. Do you have any experience with what I'm spitting tonight?
So, my job, we work double coverage, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 7 days a week. One male, one female. 90% of the time, I work with one of my closest friends. I have absolutely no problems. He and I, yes, we argue, we fight, we bicker. We're a lot like you and I all the time,
Okay.
where it's just banter back and forth. We're good. Some days I want to kill him. Some days he wants to kill me, but we still love each other in the end. Okay. But the other 10% of the time when I'm working, this gentleman will come in, clocks in same time as I do, grabs the good cushiony office chair,
Ah,
and I get stuck with the hard
bar stool.
stool to sit off to the side. That's fine. I'm fine. I can handle that. I always have a cushion. I take a cushion with me to work if I need it. Puts himself in the corner. It could be 90 degrees outside and he still has on his sweatshirt jacket and he pulls his hood down over his head, slumps off to the side, and goes to sleep. Until his alarm and my alarm go off for us to clock out on break at 10 o'clock. We have a 15-minute break. We still have to be there,
Right.
but we have to transfer everything with the computer, all that kind of stuff. And at 10 o'clock, when he transfers out for break, he goes in and does his job in the 15-minute break. Finishes up that, comes back in, clocks back in, goes back to his chair, and goes back to sleep until our lunch break at noon. Clocks out for lunch break, goes in, does the full clean, everything that needs to be done, comes back over, clocks in at 12:30. Then he goes outside and takes his bar chair or lounge chair or whatever, those chairs in a bag or whatever.
Right. Camping chairs.
And he goes off into a corner somewhere outside. Half the time, nobody can ever find him until our 2 o'clock break. And then he just appears.
So let me ask you this. Do you have the type of job where they actually, I mean,
Well, we're on camera.
so he's seen?
Yep.
Because there are times where,
There's
obviously,
not a camera in our office.
just like our break room.
There's not a camera in our office, but there is outside. But get this, okay? The 90% of the time when I'm working with the partner that I like, our lead is working with the one I don't like. Now, I don't know if he does the same exact thing working with her that he does with me. But she's been told multiple times about the different situations by every single person that works with him. She's been told by our supervisor that he needs to be written up for these different things. But she doesn't want to make him upset at her. So
Ah.
she won't write him up. She doesn't like to have anybody upset or mad at them. So she won't write them up.
So on that note, let's take a break real quick because that adds to the conversation. And Blue Wave, feel free to chime in, brother. I mean, I know you had to have, when you started on the company, I would assume that you didn't have the, I don't want to say freedom because that sounds, you're not where you're at now. You didn't start where you're at now, is a good way to put it. So you've had to have had experiences before, same way. Blue, I'm sure you have too. Feel free to chime in on that. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick, guys. And when we come back, we're going to add to this. What do we got? Southern Outlaw Band, Outlaws and Bikers. Yeah, why not?
Rolling down the highway, the sun sets low. Leather jacket shining, the stars of the show. The engines like thunder, we own the night. Outlaws and bikers, ready for a fight. Outlaws and bikers, ride side by side. They don't understand. We take our pride. Respect for the brotherhood. We stand as one. Underneath the moonlight, our journey's just begun. Happy tell the story. Scars show the way. Every mile we conquer, we got our debt to pay. In the face of danger, we never back down. With loyalty and honor, we wear our crown. Outlaws and bikers, we ride side by side. They don't understand. We take our pride. Respect for the brotherhood. We stand as one. Underneath the moonlight, our journey's just begun. Outlaws and bikers, we ride side by side. They don't understand. We take our pride. Respect for the brotherhood. We stand as one. Underneath the moonlight, our journey's just begun. So everyone, raise a glass. So here's to the outlaws, the dreamers, the brave. In the heart of the night, we'll ride to the grave. With respect for each other, we'll never fall apart. Outlaws and bikers, forever in our hearts.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is another Shot Podcast. Sunday night weekend hangover. There's a reason I'm switching up right now because before the show even started, guys, I was showing the missus the different, variations and stuff. And make sure you check us out tomorrow night for the Monday Night Bartender. We're going to have some really fun drinks. And hopefully other people will be apt to want to try because they've shown some interesting stuff. We're talking about work, co-workers, what makes the job a pain in the ass. Is it the work itself? We're not even talking about that. We're just talking about like that one coworker that really drives you nuts. Sometimes there's more than one, but I did ask a question and Blue Wave has answered yes. I had construction experience. I've been on many construction crews. And I'm going to tell you right now, I guess you can say that really brings out the, I guess, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, that brings out the assholes. Really, it does. That's an awesome job to show who wants to work, who doesn't want to work. I personally like construction. Now, I haven't done construction in a long time, so I'm trying to so when I say I can do something, I can, but that doesn't mean I'm going to remember how to do it, and that's where the frustration comes in. But anywho, so you've got that one boss that does not want to upset your coworker. So they're a little timid, so to say. They don't have the backbone that they should to be a manager, maybe. Is that a good way to put it? Or they just could be maybe they're too. No, let me take that one back. I'm going to rephrase that one. It's not that they don't have the backbone to do it. Sometimes, and here's another type. You've probably worked with that manager that is too nice for their own good. Now, me, I have mellowed out over the years, surprisingly. It used to be. Jumped right into the phone. It used to be like in dealing with this individual at work, I probably wouldn't be there right now. And that's not being arrogant or cocky or saying I'm just this big badass. It's just, like I said earlier, my temper has gotten the better of me. And not just with coworkers, but with managers, owners, customers. So I've actually, believe it or not, a good case in point. I actually had to go through anger management when I was working for the sheriff's department because I was letting the inmates get the better of me at times, and instead of, let's just say, being professional, I was the one firing back on them. And yeah, that's when I start running off at the mouth because they're running off the mouth at me, and then forgetting the golden rule. Those guys, that's their home. They could care less. We could write them up, lock them down for a week, and then when they get back out, still business as usual. It's a badge of honor to those guys if they get one of us fired. They're going to do everything they can to get us in trouble. And I was feeding into it, and it got to the point where they had offered prior to this, the last incident, we'll call it. They had offered to put me through anger management. I'm like, nah, I can fix it on my own. I'm good. My pride got the better of me. I'm just like, yeah, I don't need it. Why do I need it? I'm a grown-ass man. And before you knew it, Then I became that worker that I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble. And then it was like, so that anger management, let's go ahead and run with it. Here's where this particular incident gets interesting. I got suspended, but I also had one of those bosses I both loved and hate him. Say, you know, and it was reciprocal. Trust me, we got along. We'd go out for a beer after work, but then there was a lot of times where we were just ready to throw down on each other and just, you know, and he was another one of those bosses that hid behind his title. He could do no wrong. If something were to happen where him and somebody else would get into it, he was that one that had to make sure he got his story in first. And anybody that knows anything, the first person to get in and get the words in, they set the bar. He was that one that made sure, like, if he would get into it with a deputy, if he would get into it with, you know, anybody, you know, on the road, when it came time to report, he was that first one on the computer sitting there just, I mean, and trust me, that motherfucker could type. But anyways, like I said, I knew I was in trouble. And he talked to the captain who wanted to suspend me for, you know, a week solid. And my sergeant went, no, let's do it this way. Basically, he had me suspended on the nights that were the easy nights, we'll call it. There was nothing strenuous that night, you know, other than, you know, it wasn't a commissary night, or it wasn't a, you know, hey, it wasn't a razor night, or, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? He chose which nights. Like, I didn't do it straight. He, you know, is 1 or 2 days here and then a couple days here, basically so he wouldn't get fucked. It also had to do with, you know, who was working that night, how many people he had. So either way, it was a weird suspension. A 1 week turned into literally almost like 3 weeks of, you get this night off here, this night off here. Wait, this is your weekend to work, so we're gonna have, you know. And the captain even told me when we were going through all this, he said, it's the last conversation. You're not going to last much longer. I know you're going to do something again. He literally was telling me all this. He says, you can do what you want, but it's not going to do you any good. You're not going to make it. So I went ahead and I went and signed up for the anger management. And I would be the guy that would go in there, and after like 2 or 3 times with the counselor, I'm getting pissed. And that anger is coming out. And I'm like, look, I thought this is where I was supposed to come in and talk. We were supposed to figure it out. And you got me doing worksheets. And it feels like, you know, middle school assignments. I'm like, dude, I'm a grown man. I said, what? Shouldn't I be able to come in here and talk to you instead of just, you know, okay, here, let me see what you do. Well, why'd you put this? Okay. And then give me another paper. No, I want to come in there. And instead of getting mad at me, or he went along with it. So for the next 3-4 weeks that I was in anger management, it became venting sessions. So he would sit down, he would write it down. He never gave me another assignment. And at the end, he gave a letter of recommendation to the captain saying, I think this guy might be rehabbed. So I went back in, and when I put my 2 weeks in to move back up here, the captain actually told me that if something were to happen and I ended up back there, I always had a job with the sheriff's department. So that goes back to learning from your mistakes. So I say that.
Just to touch on that real quick.
Yes.
You can't learn to walk before you crawl.
Where Okay, so where do you think I was trying to walk before I crawled?
The worksheets,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't for you to get frustrated over, but it was for the counselor to learn where to start with you.
I would
Because the
agree.
counselor doesn't know you.
I would agree with that. I really would. But it was just they were worksheets that were like, um, bear in mind this was 12 years ago now. So I'm trying to remember. They were they weren't the worksheets you would think they would be, you know. What do you so what happened today? How did you deal with it? You know, something like that. No, it was basically, as you would put it, he was trying to get me to walk before I was crawling. He had no idea. You're right. But it wasn't helping me at all. And I think that was more where I was trying to go with him. I'm like, this is
But that was the point of giving you the worksheets.
but he wasn't asking me anything personal. Why was I getting upset? Why was, he was just here. This take a deep breath, do this, do this. It's like, dude, they see to me, and I see where you're going with this. Go ahead. Actually,
You have to be your own advocate. So if he doesn't have a clue of who he or she doesn't have a clue of anything about you, when you walk into a room, say, okay, I walked into here. You don't know me from Adam.
okay.
Okay. So let me give you this paperwork and we'll start here. And the paperwork starts to frustrate you because it has nothing to do with being here.
Okay. Which is kind of like where it was going.
But you starting with the paperwork and then straight out looking at him and saying, dude, this has nothing to do with it. This is what I need. He was making you advocate for yourself.
I can agree. Okay, I can see your point. But it wasn't even, I think what frustrated me was the fact that he didn't even try and get to know me. Like, none of the things, what I'm trying to say is, and this is how I felt, none of the paperwork was actually describing me, describing, what I'm going through, describing why I feel this way. Like, it was almost like it was going to be another counseling session where I'm just going to go in, I'm getting paid to do this, this, and this. So here's this, this, and this. Here's the generic questions. All right, good luck. So I was more like, dude, you need to understand what's going on, not give me,
But if you're, say you're a counselor
okay,
and you're an anger management counselor
okay,
and you're seeing a female that comes in who has all sorts of issues with her anger, but the anger is placed because of childhood trauma and buildup of years of abuse and neglect. But then you have another gentleman that comes in and he has built up anger just because a chemical is missing in their brain and they can't control their thoughts and feelings the way that most people do. But then you have a 28-year-old that just was never given any boundaries
okay.
as a child. So throwing temper tantrums is how they got their way. You have all these different people that come to you for this. How do you start without giving them a generic form to get a baseline?
It's hard to describe. I can kind of see where you're going with that.
So you give
Personally,
everybody the same generic form and you wait for their response.
I see where you're going, and my only argument is they weren't the forms you think they were. They weren't the paperwork. So, in my thought is you sit down, you get to know the person. You know, what's going on? So, why are you having problems at work? Okay, now I've got a baseline. So, maybe not give you this one, but give you this one and try this exercise. Instead, they give everybody the same thing, and we all have different situations, different upbringings, different, you know, like you just said, everybody's different. So, why give everybody the same thing? They weren't, I guess the best way to put it is they weren't gauging. They were just straight up, you know, okay, here's this situation. What do you do? Okay, so when you get mad, try this exercise. Breathe, you know, stop, take a deep breath, count to 3, so on and so forth. I can see both sides of the coin where you're going with it, but
And there's
like you
another
just,
question. Were you paying for it, or was the sheriff's department?
technically nobody was paying for it because he had already recommended me to him. And then when I didn't take it that first time, he said he wasn't going to do anything with it. I was basically on my own. He didn't care what I did. That's verbatim. So I still went to that guy afterwards.
How
Now
did
the
that
captain, on the other hand, I can say everything you just said. I think that's what he was doing. I think when I first went in there, though, it started off as, you know, here it is. Okay, another guy in trouble here. You know, here's this, here's this, here's this. You know, I'm getting paid either way. Doesn't matter. No, if I'm going to go to a counselor, I'm going to get personal because that's supposed to be the safe place. That's supposed to be the place that, you know, me writing down, you know, what I felt was, and I'm not saying I was right, but this is how I felt. Because in the end, I think it kind of worked both ways. And I'll even add to that here in a second. I basically told him, like, dude, this is not doing anything for me. This is stuff I already know and I can't do. Obviously, I can't do it, or else I wouldn't be sitting here. You're telling me stuff I already know. Let me tell you why I'm getting frustrated, and let's go from there. Let's talk. Don't give me just papers and say, here, do this assignment. Have a nice day. Let me sit down and explain, and we have banter, like what you and I are doing right now. And at the end, that's how it worked. And honestly, I mean, there was I'm not going to say it fully cured me, but being able to go in and let loose like that and just say, this is what's going on. This is why, oh, he did it again. And, you know, this is why. That's where I was, you know, just remember how many times we've said in here, I need to quit holding it in. Or I end up doing a fucking show half drunk. Okay, I wasn't half drunk that night. I was pretty drunk and pissed. You know, we need to sit down and talk. And in the end, it actually worked out for us. So the side note on that was the whole time I was pissed off at my captain, thinking he didn't like me, thinking, you know, he was just, no. After it was all said and done, it hit me like a bullet one time. I'm like, this motherfucker, he knew, he did intentionally push buttons, but he did it to basically release my strengths. He knew how to push me in the direction he wanted me to go. So if that meant pissing me off, he did that. And it dawned on me after, you know, we sat down and I was talking to a few of my other coworkers who was having issues with him. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, I've seen it. And then it hit all at once. I'm like, dude, he knew exactly what he was doing. He pushed you in the direction that he wanted you to and he would do it in whatever means he needed to do. So at the end of the day, I mean, it was just one of those crazy. So all that being said, that kind of gives you guys a glimpse onto how I used to be. Do I still have a temper today? Yes. And that's why I can honestly say I've progressed enough that at work, this particular individual would have been taking a nap on more than one occasion. Of course, I'm sure after the first time, there wouldn't have been a second time, but still. So I think it's more or less trying to figure out how do you deal with. And with me, I find it better to try and laugh, to try and joke, to try and put a different spin on it. Like I said, I mean, I'm a hard read sometimes. And I think the one thing that is constant, though, is I'm constantly trying to bring people up. And even though I have issues with this individual at work, it was just this week, actually. I think it was Thursday night. I was talking to Hoop, and I'm like, dude, put this dude with me. Me and one of the other coworkers, when he came over here and helped us, dude, he'd been a different person. Now, did he backslide a little bit? Yeah. But, at work, again, it goes back to that camaraderie. I like getting along with everybody. I like laughing. I like joking. And I want to thank Captain Claflin because now we were telling you the story about Ray, how he's got a real bad temper too. And I was that guy that sat there and kind of, the one day he was pissed off and I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And we knew it hit when he went red-faced. And I immediately busted out and started laughing. Hooper started laughing. I'm like, and I got him. There it was. And Ray, ear to ear, grinned. So that's how I deal with people at work. I try to, I take advantage of what I do here to vent. And at work, I go about it, a different way. Okay, I'm a little more diplomatic about it. I'm interested in seeing how tomorrow's going to go. But damn, how time flies when you're having fun, guys. Hopefully I kind of gave you that thought now. It's like, oh yeah, that guy at work, oh that girl at work, oh that individual, I go back to this famous saying, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Life moves pretty fast, guys. If you blink, you might miss it. So at the end, don't let that toxicity get the better of you. It's easier said than done, but trust me, just laughter, joking, something, anything, anything on the positive, trust me, makes a world of difference. So on that note, that will be my final shot of the night. Guys, check us out tomorrow night for our Monday Night Bartender. Trust me, I've got a lot of ideas. I cannot wait for the holidays to come up. My youngest one, actually, little angel that she is, went out and bought me a whole thing of recipes that are specifically Halloween drinks. So I can't wait. Blue Wave. Oh, brother. Hope I didn't bore you. I must not have. He stuck around. So hopefully what I said I got you. Check us out Wednesday night for our Wednesday night open bar. Sorry about that. Thirsty Thursday. I'm going to say it this time. It's going to be our Thirsty Thursday sports night until Super Bowl. I'm telling you guys. And if you guys watched last Thursday, it was a blast. We had 6ix9ine back in here. And, he was on the screen. And then, of course, we have our Sunday night weekend hangovers. We are taking off a month for Trina's Trivia. The Tournament of Champs is set. It is me versus Michael Copenhaver versus Bobby Ryder versus Crystal Light. That will be October 7th. So something to look forward to, guys. Oh, wait. She's going to double check me and make sure that one's right. Am I right? See? So I'm getting better at remembering dates. Not really, but hey, that one at least stuck. And of course, we got our Sunday night weekend hangover, guys. So, like I said, there are good ships, there are wood ships, there are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. May you always have water, may you always have bread, and be in heaven 10 minutes before the devil knows you're dead. Guys, we had fun. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
Thank you for stopping in and listening to the Another Shot podcast. We shared some drinks, stories, and laughs. But it's time to say goodnight. Join us next time on Another Shot podcast.
If you're looking for a party, then man, have you found it? Now the shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Now the shot is gonna hit you with the mind overloaded. The bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Just remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be